Look more drums.
Tea party has had many names down through the years. It ain't the kind of tea you're drinking. Because it always believes in a common theme called states' rights over federal intervention. Will y'all bear with me a minute? If you had an arrow, remember an arrow, Tea Party is the head of the arrow. But behind the head is a shaft. That's where the power is. And behind that are feathers which guide it. And somebody has a strong string and pulls the bow. And that's where the power is. So while the TV got the arrowhead talking about Tea Party, the power is when they turn that angriness into legislation. So you have to figure out, they use Indians, I think, in the war to decode the language of the opposition. When they say he's not one of us, the health bill is a death bill. You're going to put seniors off of Social Security. He's not a Christian. He does not serve our God. Alien, no matter what he says, he is a Muslim. He's not one of us. I met a man in West Virginia, in Washington, on the health care bill debate. He said, Reverend, I voted for him. I'm not a racist. I said, I just said hello. I didn't say what you were. He said, well, I'm just against big government. I said, okay. I said, where you from? West Virginia, the most endowed state in terms of federal government. How'd you get here? Down the interstate. That's 90% federal government, interstate highways. So how'd you get the oxygen mask? Medicare. If Social Security right here in my pocket, Jesse. So you go from a state with federal government, highway, oxygen mask, and Social Security. He's against big government. He couldn't breathe another breath. Will y'all bear with me a minute before just come and take us to higher ground? In Georgia, from December 2007 to May 2009, the number of white men in Georgia drawing unemployment increased from 17 to 52,000, an increase of 211%. During the same period, the number of black males drawing unemployment went from 16,000 to 33,000, an increase of 106%. This is a he session. White males voted against their own interest. They voted for two senators who were against the jobs bill. An unemployed man voting against a job. A thirsty man voting against water. A drowning man voting against ropes. It's in a deep kind of emotional predicament. Will y'all bear with me a minute? But it's creating, the conflict is coming out in funny kinds of ways. And maybe the most dramatic to me, Reverend Otis, was when a young man said to Bob Herbert, I am a Christian. I love the Lord. I'm also a patriot. I killed 3 people. Can I go to heaven? He'd be out of his mind the rest of his life in that conflict. 1 million soldiers have gone to Iraq and Afghanistan. 500,000 applied for disability. Half of all unemployed men and women are veterans. And these are our 21-year-old children who joined the army to avoid unemployment. And until we democratize service, until the rich have to serve with the poor in the military, that's why I'm for the draft again, because I think we must share the burden of war. So long as only the poor go to war, then it's academic. But when Harvard and Yale has to go to war, they figure out a way to end it. Y'all with me so far? So watch this. In this New South, say New South. Say New South. New South. The irony is that when we won the battle in '64, whites benefited more than blacks. Because when the walls came down, you could have international investment. Didn't come to us. All these new automotive companies, we don't run these companies. You couldn't have had the Olympics in Atlanta behind the Cotton Curtain with the walls up. You couldn't have had the Atlanta Falcons or the Dallas Cowboys or Miami Heat behind the Cotton Curtain. All this New South industry came because of the work of the martyrs of our struggle. And so those, ironically, were fighting us, the biggest beneficiaries of our work.
Look more drums.